Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and you guys, I have two wonderful 3D Christmas embossing folders from our friends at Practical Publishing. This is Creative Craft Products. This is 5x7 Christmas Tree 3D embossing folder, and this one is a stocking, so cute. You guys, here is our giveaway card for this episode using the stocking and some beautiful little suede paper. You just want to pet it. Stick around and we'll tell you how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, let's take a look at these beautiful little embossing folders. As I said, this is a 5x7 3D embossing folder, beautiful pine boughs, okay? And then we've got the same with the Christmas stocking. We're gonna start with cards using the pine boughs. So for this first card, I've got this little 6.5 by 5-inch card where I just did a little inking. And what I used for my background, just some solid cardstock from At the Lake, solid cardstock, and I used the tan one here and then the green one as the background right here. And then I wanted to show you how I did this. So to emboss, this is what we like to do. You're going to open this up, you're going to take your paper, your cardstock works the best, put that in there. Then we like to mist it with just a little bit of clear, clean water with a little mister. You want to get about this far away because you really are not getting it wet. You're not even really getting it moist. You just want a tiny little bit of water on there, little spray, so that when you put this down and you're going to then turn it and you're going to run it through your die cutting machine, embossing machine, and you want to have that be so the fold goes in first so it doesn't buckle on the way through. That moisture just gives it just a tiny little bit of give so that the paper will like bend a little bit more easily around all of this impression, okay? So that's what you're going to end up with when you're done. And then I just took some holly green ink. Some people just use the surface of the ink pad, but that can be a little risky sometimes. So I just like to use a dauber, why do I keep calling it a dauber? A ink applicator that has a nice flat surface, okay? Just putting a little bit on there, and then you're keeping this straight, and then you're just running it right across those impressions, just like this. And then if you just do it a little bit like that, you're not going to get a lot of green ink all the way around it, or you could just go a little bit extra like I did if you want kind of a little shadow around it of color. Okay, and that's what I did here, so it gave it a little bit more strong impression. All right, and then I decorated that with these are shiny red Dazzle stickers. We have other red Dazzle stickers that have a little gold line about them. And we asked Paulette for these because we like to use them as little berries, and we thought they look more realistic if they don't have the little gold etching around them. So she did that for us, and then we just tied a simple red bow to put that there. And then we've got some greetings here. This is Happy Holidays Dazzle Sticker Collection, and they come in all these colors in one pack, and I used the green one for Merry Christmas. And then I also wanted to show you, guys, you could actually take your envelope, okay? And you could take your standard size envelope that fits. It's about a 5x7. And I just took the envelope and I just put it right in here. It's gonna hang over just a little bit, but that's okay. Actually, I did it like this right here. And misted it once again with a little bit of water, put it through the embossing folder die cutting machine, and it came out like this. Now you could I would recommend addressing it before you do this because it's hard to write on the texture. But yeah, this is absolutely mailable, okay? So that's fun to do. All right, so let's take a look at this one. All right, so this one, you guys, I did something a little different here. So on this background, I did a little sanding, okay? And I'm gonna show you how I did this. Sometimes if you put this through your machine and you're using like a white core cardstock like this one, if you don't mist it, you'll get some cracking, okay? This is not sanded. This is already cracked, okay? Just got a little bit of that white showing through. And instead of throwing it away and just going, oh, I forgot to mist the cardstock, I forgot to do whatever, or too much pressure when you put it through the machine, that can cause that to happen. You can just take your little sanding block, okay? This only works if you have white core cardstock. And you can tell that if you just tear it. And you're just taking a sanding block, sanding paper, and you're just going over it with it's flat like this. And you're just removing a little bit of that color, that printed color that's on there, to get, just emphasizing it. So basically you're just taking it and you're going with it. You're like, okay, I'm gonna just take that mistake and I'm gonna make it work for me. So that's what I did on this one. This is a 6x6 card, and I cut my paper just a little bit smaller, and then I didn't even bother misting it. I just put it through the machine, and it was a little cracked, and so I was like, you know what, we're just gonna sand that. And so my background papers and things that I used here, I used one of these little beautiful Christmas is Past 12x12 pattern cardstock where it has these little scenes that are cutouts, okay? I went ahead and used one of those, tore the edges around it, and then inked it with a little bit of earth red. It's kind of a nice burgundy color. And then glued that to the surface. I also inked the edges of the embossed paper and the card. So glued the embossed paper to the card front, then glued this down. Then I used, the paper that I used, the green paper, came from Christmas is Past solid cardstock. I used this dark green one right there. Okay, and then I also used the chipboard, which is so pretty, the Merry Christmas chipboard. I just used that same earth red on that, just on the surface of it, and then glued it down here. Then there's just this little leaf shape, swirly shape. It's so pretty. And I actually used our new gold ink pad on that one. That's such a beautiful color, right on the surface. Glued that there, and then used a little burgundy 1/8 inch ribbon from the ribbon collection, just tied a bow, glued it there. And then this one is the Christmas is Past die cuts that coordinate with the paper. So added that there, just a little foam tape on that one. All right, more cards. All right, so this one was the one I showed you in our opening. This is our giveaway card for this episode, you guys. So how that works is that we're trying to promote our Paper Wishes YouTube channel. So we ask that you go to Paper Wishes YouTube channel. If you're watching us on our webisode page, if you make the screen large, like full screen, you'll see there's a little YouTube icon down there. If you click on it, it'll take you right to that channel. We ask that you subscribe and that you like this video with a thumbs up and that you leave a comment. And then we're going to wait about a week and we're going to reply to one of those comments saying congratulations, and we're going to use your specific YouTube username for one winner. So only one person is winning, and we're going to use their YouTube username, so you have to know your username. It's also a good idea to hit the notification bell in the top right hand corner, and then you just follow the instructions on the comment that we're giving you on how to claim your card. All right, so for this one, you guys, for the background paper, I used Joyful Christmas 12x12 pattern cardstock, and I used the brown and tan plaids. They're so pretty. Okay, and then this card is a tent fold card. It is 4 by 8 1/4 inches, and I inked all the edges using cocoa bean ink. And then right down here, I used some other Christmas dazzles. These are Christmas greetings dazzle stickers, and they come in all these different colors in a pack, and I use the white ones for good tidings. And then let's talk about how I did the stocking. So we've got our stocking embossing folder. This is suede paper. If you're not familiar with our suede paper, it's just beautiful to work with, and it comes in lots of colors. This is forest green suede, and it feels like suede fabric on this side, and then on this side it's paper. It die cuts beautifully, and it also embosses beautifully. You would treat it just like regular paper. You would cut the amount that you need, put it in your embossing folder, give it a little bit of mist of water, and then you're gonna go put it through your embossing machine. So what I did was I used a full large amount of the forest green. I didn't need to do the whole thing, like the 5 by 7, because I'm using my scissors to cut it out. So I just did just enough to cover the actual stocking. And then I embossed that, and then I cut it out just using little scissors, okay, cut around the stocking. And then I literally just took like scraps of this is mocha color, and then I put it here and a little scrap here and here, and then ran through the machine. I should say here, here, and here, and then ran that through. And then I used my scissors to cut out around the embossed areas. So the toe and then the heel, that was really easy to cut out. And for this one, I just cut it right there, glued those directly to the forest suede. And then this one is tan suede. And I just took a small amount of this, about this much, and I put that right there on the embossing folder, ran that through, and then I cut that around the embossed little zigzags, glued that down as well. And then let me show a little secret here. You can see the little deer there pretty well because I actually took my same little ink applicator and a little bit of black ink, and I just smudged it slightly over the surface just so that would stand out extra well. It was not standing out as well on film as it does in person, so I wanted you to be able to see that. So then the other thing I did was I used Christmases Past cutting dies, and there are two little pine branches right here, and I used scraps of that same forest green suede. Okay, keep all of your scraps, and then just use those for 3 little sprigs, glued those down, and then use the brown gingham ribbon for a little bow, and then these little stars come from that same collection of Dazzle stickers. So I was going for just like a little bit more of a masculine look on this one, but I think that would be good for anybody. And as I said, this is our giveaway card. All right, my last card to share with you, you guys, is one I'm not quite finished with. So this one is used with Mirror Card Ruby Red. So this is mirrored cardstock, okay? That beautiful deep red, and then also Harvest Gold that I'm going to be adding on. So what I did was cut apart this one as well. So first did Ruby Red, then I just took some strips here of some Harvest Gold and glued that down the center. Okay, so here we have the little cuff that I went ahead and took off, cut that off of the Harvest. And then I glued a little bit of ribbon. We have this cute little ribbon, it comes like this. And I just glued that along the bottom edge, and now I'm going to foam tape that right like that. All right, and then I've got the toe, and we're going to put that right there. And then we've got the heel. So this is just a really easy way to make this look different and give it some dimension and extra color. How easy is that? Okay, so that's just 2 passes through the embossing machine, and for these pieces you could just use the little scrap pieces. You don't need to do a whole stocking and cut it apart. You can just use small amounts. All right, you guys, that's what I've got for you today. Don't forget to participate in our giveaway. We have a fantastic money saver on these beautiful embossing folders. I really, really hope that you check that out. It's right there on the right-hand side if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page. If you're watching us on YouTube, just look below the video in the description box. There is a link there, and it'll take you to this webisode page. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.